Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am going to show you guys my seed collection and what I am starting today. So this collection is all of my brassicas, eggplant, kale, Swiss chard, lettuce, and leafy type of greens. This one is the vegetables. I have beans, carrots, cucumbers, corn, herbs, hot peppers, melons. Miscellaneous is random stuff like, what is it? I have squash, radish, pumpkin, peppers, peas, onions. And in miscellaneous, I had artichokes. And then this one is for my flowers. The first few are by height, and then the others are ones that I have multiple of. And it makes it so much easier for me to grow things throughout the season, having them like that. This is a new seed tray that I got from Walmart, made by Fairy Morse. This is really nice and sturdy. I like it because the cells are really deep and they don't collapse really easily. I have a few of those. They were not expensive. I think it was only $4 for one. And then the bottom tray was like $2. And then this little basket is where I put everything that I am about to start. These are my dill seeds that I collected with some nasturtiums in it from last year. A little bowl of pumpkin seeds, and then all of these seeds are the ones that I'll be starting throughout the season. And I'm going to start my flowers today. Along with my snapdragons. And so this is how I stay organized. The purple basket is for what is about to be done. So here are the snapdragons. And then what I'm going to do next is mix my seed starter mix. I like to put in bone meal, the seed starter mix from Miracle-Gro, and then earthworm castings. And I mix all of those in a tray that I get from the Dollar Tree, which is just a cat litter pan. It's $1.25. I use that to mix my soil and to put it into my seed starting pots or trays. And then this is the bottom watering tray made by Fairy Morse. This one was only $3 for one. And I really like them, so I bought those sets this year to try them out. Here's my seed starting mix. I put everything in here, mix it with some water, and I'm just working the water in. And what you want is when you squeeze it, you don't want water to drip out. You want to be able to let go and have a formed ball of dirt. So mine is a little bit too wet. I'm going to add in a little bit more dirt. And then I'm going to mix it all in, get it nice and incorporate it. And then after I get it nice and mixed in, the white dusty part is the bone meal. Then I'm going to start putting it into the seed cells. And so I'm just stuffing it in. And then once I get it all in, I want to take my finger and push down into each hole to get all of the air pockets out. You have to remember to press down because a lot of the dirt that you think is in there, there's empty spots in the cell. And you don't want your seeds to get sucked down into the dirt because they will not germinate if they go deep down into the cell. So I'm just going through each one, pressing with my fingers, getting that air gap out. And then I'm going to go back through and add in more soil to level it out. And don't worry about this tablecloth. This is a tablecloth that looks like a real tablecloth. It is not. It is a plastic tablecloth from the Dollar Tree. All right, so one of my first flowers that I'm going to put in is Linaria. It's called Fairy Bouquet. These are all from Botanical Interest. And I have Magic Carpet Blend snapdragons, Night and Day snapdragons. Some of them are tall, some of them are short. You can see the height right there on the front. This one is Orange Wonder. This one was really beautiful, and I did bouquets with that one. And then this one's from the Dollar Tree, and that's Tall Rust Resistant. Just like a multicolor. All right, so I'm just going to seed these trays with those flowers. And then after everything is seeded, I just put vermiculite on the top, and then the vermiculite serves a couple of different purposes. So it will, for snapdragon seeds, they're very tiny and you don't cover them with soil, so you cover them with vermiculite and water them in. and then it will keep them moist and let light in. And then this is the second tray that I planted. This is Dianthus Black Adder from Baker's Creek. And then Johnny's, this one is Black Cherry Pelleted Dianthus. And this one is Sweet White Pelleted Dianthus. Volcano Mix Dianthus. Those are all pelleted seeds. The Bewitched Pansy, I couldn't find a picture of it. I'm not sure what this is going to look like or if it'll germinate. This is from 2022. And then Larkspur Giant Imperial Mixed Colors. These should get tall, 3 to 4 feet. Same with these Delphinium Pacific Giants. And then this is new to me this year. It's Giant Peony Mixed Poppies. I'm very excited about that. I hope I get good germination. If I don't, I'll reseed and start again. And then California Poppy Watermelon Heaven. The 3 of these poppies are all annual, so I'll get flowers this year. And this one is Hungarian Blue, which is really pretty. Looks like a tulip. So all of those poppies are annuals, and annual means you get the flower the first year, and in perennials you normally don't get flowers till the second year, so remember that. This is my sprayer that I use to wet down the top of the soil. This vermiculite is from Walmart. It has lasted me 2 seasons already. Today is a different day, and what we are going to start today is our sweet peppers. So I prefer to do my sweet peppers in the Dollar Tree mini pots. I've tried different containers and I don't like the way that they grow in other containers. I only like the way that they grow under grow lights, bottom watering in these containers specifically. It's my favorite. I've tried different ways. This one works the best for me. So you can start it in whatever you want to start it in, but this is what I prefer. So what I have here is my seed starting mix. I will be adding mosquito bits, and that is to make sure that I do not get fungus gnats. I use this every year and I never get fungus gnats. Vermiculite will go on top. I'll add earthworm castings and bone meal, and then I will fill these up. I will bottom water, and then I will put a little bit of vermiculite on top. And I am going to just show it to you in different phases because I don't know what I did with my tripod. So first thing I'm gonna do is fill these with soil, dry soil. I'm gonna bottom water the soil, and once everything is, the dirt is completely wet from pulling up moisture, then I'm going to add my seeds on top. That is how I start my sweet pepper seeds. Okay, so seed starter mix, vermiculite, mosquito bits, earthworm castings, bone meal, Dollar Tree containers. All right, so I added the mosquito bits, earthworm castings, and bone meal. I'm gonna mix it all up, fill these containers, and then set them in a container of water and let the water pull up into the soil. Once the soil is wet all the way to the top, that's when I will put my seeds in. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna go over my sweet peppers to see which ones I wanna grow this year. All right, so this is what that looks like. I filled them all to the inside lip. And again, we have bone meal, earthworm castings, mosquito bits. And then after I put the seeds in, I will add the vermiculite. Okay, so what I normally do is I fill them up dry, set them in the water. After they soak the water up, and I put the seeds in. All right, so that's what that looks like. These will sit in here, soak up the water, and then I will be looking at my pepper seeds to see what I'm gonna start. So I normally do 2 seeds per pot. Okay, so this is 12, so 24 pepper plants is what I normally go for. I'm going to put 3 seeds in each in case the germination is low. So I will have 36, and then I will get rid of whatever one is the weakest. That's normally what I do for the sweet peppers. They take a very long time to grow, so it's better to overseed in the beginning and not underseed, because if you only put 1 per pot and you don't get good germination, they can take up to 3 weeks to germinate. Then you wasted a lot of time, and you probably just have to go and buy a start from the store. So 3 seeds per pot is what I'm gonna do. That'll be 36 seeds total, and I'll show you the varieties in just a second. All right, so for the seeds that I am going to do this year, some of my seeds are older. So like this Big Bertha bells, these are from 2022. So I'm gonna put these to the side to check the germination. This one, I made a note for myself that says mixed bell peppers from 2022. And the note says to check the germination. So any of my older seeds are gonna go over here. I have orange bell, green bell, mixed, and then the Big Bertha. That will be over there. Those will go into separate pots, not these. These will go in separate pots to check the germination, because if they are not viable, then I'll just reuse that soil, but it would not put me behind with these. But if these have any good germination in them, I want to use them up, because the seeds just getting older and older, and they're going to lose the viability. These are pepperoncinis. I do like this company called Seeds and Such. They have really good prices. They are based here in Georgia. And I will be ordering more seeds from them. I really do like them a lot. These pepperoncinis grew fine. I didn't grow them last year. I grew them the year before, and they grew just fine. And it was prolific. So I don't know if I want to do pepperoncinis. I will put this to the side as a maybe. Now, last year I grew these paprika peppers. It did not do well for me. I'm gonna try again this year. I'll be growing the Sunbright peppers. This is from Johnny's. It is called a Goddess Sweet Pepper. I cannot remember what this one looks like at all. I cannot remember at all, so I have to look this up. That's gonna go to the maybe pile. Shishito peppers, I am growing for sure. That will go there. Hot peppers, I won't be growing any hot peppers except for my jalapeno peppers. These are Serrano and Altiplano. And then somebody gifted me some Scotch bonnets. Not doing those either. So the 3 peppers that did good, but I won't be growing this year, are the miniature red bells from M.I. Gardner, the miniature yellow bells from M.I. Gardner. They grew fine, but they were just too small when it came time to cut them up. And then for the lilac bells, these grew really good as well, but the walls of the pepper is so thin, I did not really like chopping that up. I am going for more of a bigger bell pepper, thicker walled pepper this year. Much easier to dice, and these were just, it was just really time consuming with these 3. They grew fine, and if you want to try them out, they did grow really good. So lilac bell, miniature yellow, miniature red. I only paid $2 a package, and they grew just fine. They just were too small for me for chopping them up. So this year I want to go for growing more bells, but I did snacking peppers last year. This was orange, red, and yellow. And then these are some more bells that I'll be growing. These are ones that I harvested myself in these little brown packages. So orange bells I harvested a year ago from a grocery store bell pepper. And then this one is a yellow. And this one is a red. And so I normally harvest seeds from peppers that I eat if the peppers are like big and beautiful and healthy. So these are the ones that I am growing for sure. Test run to check germination. This one I need to look up and see exactly what it is because I have no idea. And for the peppercini, I think I'm not going to do that one this year. So I'll pass on that. And then the last one that I have is from my green stalk package. You get a free pack of seeds when you order stuff from them. And so these are the jalapeno peppers, and these grew just fine. So I will have probably just 2 of these plants. All right. So that is my pepper lineup for this year. Let me see how many this is. So this, I'm gonna do 1. These are gonna go to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So actually I can use some of these pots. 11, 12, yeah. So I'll use a couple of these pots for the test runs for germination. So this is a yellow banana pepper. So I'm not going to do banana peppers or pepperoncinis this year. So I'm sticking to bell peppers. Again, I will be putting these in some of these pots as a test run. And then I will plant 3 seeds of each of all of these. So hopefully I have some really good germination. We shall see. I will be putting my seeds in just a minute. The water is soaking up. And then I will put the vermiculite on top. And I will show you that in just a minute. Okay, so I added 2 more pots since I have 14 different seeds. I went ahead and added 2 more pots, and now I have 14 different pots. And as you can see, the water is starting to reach the top of the soil. So this is what I like to do with these pots. And I forgot to mention why I prefer these pots for my peppers. So these pots are a very thin plastic. And I know a lot of people now are trying to buy a lot of like more expensive, like super sturdy stuff. That does not work for everything. So what I find for myself when I start peppers, when you put these on a heat mat, if the material is too thick of a plastic, that heat does not reach those peppers like you want it to. So what I prefer, these nice thin pots, that this soil on a heat mat, it heats up completely to the top. You can feel the warmth all the way to the top of the soil. And that is what the seeds need. And when I do it this way, I bottom water and I put them on a heat mat. Once they sprout, then I will put the grow lights up. But they'll be on a heat mat with no light until I see sprouts. As I see sprouts, I just take them and put them under the light. They will not all sprout and germinate at the same time. And I just take whatever does germinate, I take it out and I put it under the grow lights. But when you do the bottom water, and you only have to bottom water every 3 days with this system that I'm doing now, I only have to bottom water every 3 days. I put them in the water, I let them sit in there for 10 minutes, and I let it draw up as much, and this is once the plants start going. I let them go and they pull up for about 10 minutes. It'll be a lot faster once there's an actual plant growing. It draws it up a lot faster. Right now they're empty. But as you can see, the water is pulling up from the bottom. Bottom watering will also stop you from getting fungus gnats and any issues with the plant on top of the soil. So that's why I prefer these for certain things. My flowers, you see, I like to have those in the 72 sales or the 50 sales. But my peppers, since they take so long and they're really important to me because that is my crop that I prefer, I like to do those in the way that makes them happy. And so that is how I do it. Oh, and these are the pots from the Dollar Tree. Those are my favorite for peppers. And I actually prefer them for cabbage and lettuce. What else? Cabbage, lettuce. If I think of something else, I'll put it up on the screen. But these do really good for a lot of different things because you don't have to size up either. Like my peppers can stay in these for a long time. They can stay in this size. This is a 2-inch pot. They can stay in this 2-inch pot until I put them out. They will still grow a lot of roots. They will still grow a lot of height in this 2-inch pot. And I already have food in here for them. I have the bone meal in there for them, the earthworm castings. I will not have to up pot these. So I prefer this for my pepper plants. All right, so let's take this one for example. See the water that's coming out? You just sit it. The soil is wet on top. And you see how it pulls out this puppy pad. I use puppy pads from the Dollar Tree, pots from the Dollar Tree. It pulls out the excess water so that it's not just sitting there getting all soppy. And I'm gonna take 3 seeds, lay them out on the soil, and then that leftover soil that I have there, I'm gonna put a very small layer on top and then press it down and that extra water will pull up.